All right, so my goal here right now in helping you get through this tournament, basically on Fanduel for this weekend, week 4, NFL. Um, as you probably had a chance to at least read, or I didn't make a video on it, but the fantasy draft is the way to go in cash because they have the rake free, and you can get that on a link to that. Get yourself a $10 freebie to go about doing that, and you have a special tournament as well, $100,000 prize winning and all that. But if you go head to heads, as I made a mistake one time of doing too many 50-50s and my score, got a little bit too low, and then I went and lost all that cash. But then now going about it and going head to heads really is better, as I came to find now. Just that because if you're just competing against one individual person, make sure they're just different people so that you don't happen to run into the same person that'll tell you here as you go into the lobby area. Just so that you finish out your cash games directly. You can go to recommended watch lists on whatever you use. If you happen to be a member of the NFL DFS Army, you would just go over here down to NFL menu, see what they're also doing in the coaches notes to check yourself if you like, your own, want to get a second opinion on your cash game lineups. I have one on wealthyfantasyfootball.com. You can follow if you like. That is there for the fantasy draft as a recommended place to go right now. You can even just do a membership of just $6 a month. Start out with that way you can get all this rake-free money for people that actually put millions into these things and save them, 10%, which is $100,000 of whatever amount of cash you put into it. That's easily quantifiable in the savings. So you might as well start now if you want to really be into it to make some money and not just play around or lose or waste your money. So you can do that, and you just enter into, your create your lineup, go into many different cash game, like I'm going to do one right now. Head to heads, let's see. NFL, just get the type that I want. So they have enough cash rolling in to help pay for my tournament losses as well. So I can hopefully hit a big tournament wherever I want to do that. I'm going to choose to do so on FanDuel this week and focus on tournaments. Throw in maybe 30 tournaments into the FanDuel pool there so we can get something won. So here we are on NFL. I want to sort by entry fee and try to not run over the same. Maybe if I do a couple of the same ones, that's fine. Actually, I need to make let's see. Here we go, head to heads. It's probably going to make me enter a lineup as opposed to, entering from a previous one that I had already created. So let's go with here we go. I want to do the Sunday time slot. They have the Sunday night, so Sunday only includes the New Orleans Dallas game. That's a great thing because it should be a good higher scoring game with the running backs and receivers as well there. Okay, let's see. So here we go. We can enter that. And I already got two of my lineups, so it looks like they're different. So I'm going to go with the only differences here is all these players. I got Kamara and Elliott, like I even mentioned. McLaurin, you can't go wrong. Devin Smith is in a great spot right now. Even Amari Cooper might not play. He's questionable, so look out for that. But even with him playing, I'm still playing this lineup here, even with Devin Smith. That's, supposedly the weakest link. Hawkinson is a great price as well, with a lot of upside and that higher over in the game. And, of course, you can't go wrong with just spending down a bit on defense as a reasonable price there. Mahomes, you can't go wrong. That's just guaranteed points, insurance for your team. To spend up a QB there every week. He's putting up and giving you 30-plus fantasy points, so that's great. And you can still go with Eckler for this week as long as Gordon doesn't come back. Just make sure. And you got David Johnson or Mark Ingram. I really think that you can go either way on that particular spot at running back. Okay, so I'm going to choose the do more of the David Johnson and enter that. Okay, so for whatever reason, that just shows the head-to-head Sunday only. No particular player is in that, so I get to choose for me and spread out my competitors. So I just want to show you one of those. I'll do more of those later myself. But anyways, moving now to the over-unders. I'm going to take this process kind of one step at a time and show you what to do and where to go, how to go about it in any particular game. So let's break it down by a game. So I'm not saying I'm going to use this game or anything, but it give you an idea. Like, we're going to take the Cleveland Baltimore game. So here it has a consensus here, this column right here, at a 45 over under. So it's a decently potential scoring game. But with Baltimore given 7 points, so saying that game will not be very close, a touchdown. But in my particular estimation, I know that these two teams played, especially down the stretch last year, the last game of the year, for Cleveland to try to get into the playoffs, if you could recall that. But so I believe this game will be closer. I will take the under as far as Cleveland coming. I don't believe Baltimore would actually cover that spread, is the way I would bet. So I'm not betting. However, I want to use that in my estimation to bump up. I'm not sure about the over-under, but I'll bump up the score for Cleveland. Now, what I'm going to do next is go over to the research station in the DFS Army and put in an order of the team totals. The highest team total is Kansas City. I'm sorry, the Chargers. A little bit surprising there. I thought it was Kansas City. The over-under. Sorry, back over here to the Vegas lines right here. The over-under, interestingly, only 44.5 because they're playing Miami. So that's why they're that high. So we got to move on down to the team that we want to choose to be a little bit very talented team to really, as I think about it, is a good tournament pick to go with the Browns. No one is on them right now, and they have a lot of talent. They can chuck the ball deep. Mayfield can run around. He has a track record and an ability to do so. So I'm not going to hesitate to go in that direction, and at least 10% of my tournament lineups. So let's say where he's at here. Let's see if we can find Mr. Mayfield and his team right here at team total of, here we are, 19.3. So it's telling you here in the red that that's not good. So we want to go over that. We want to come within that score right there. And in fact, let's say they get that touchdown. They're able to tie up the game, and it's just inevitable that that's how they can keep it close. Put that touchdown on the board and make it tied. Not saying it's going on to overtime, but so putting that up, I'm going to put my total up to on this particular game right here. If I can edit this, let's try that. Yeah, heck, pretty cool. So 19, let's say 26. Boom. Now we're going to reorder this in the green. So this is how you're betting on projecting teams out so that you can figure out where you want to go where others are not, which can inevitably bring to yourself sharing in and allowing variance into your lineup. So here we go now with 26. He's right up here all of a sudden. He gets you that touchdown pass in the Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson area. Team total. Interesting, right? So there you go. It's not something recommended in cash games because it's a bit risky to say this. However, now Mayfield is up here with these guys. So that's where we start with a stack. We get Mayfield in there, and we go from there. So let's look at statistically player prop odds as a next step on that particular game. We got it already on here, Baltimore, Cleveland. Let's look at passing touchdowns. So it's likely here that Mayfield, they're saying, we get 2. Interesting. Jackson, same amount as Jackson, 2. 2 tutties. Okay, so that's where we can go here. So if we want to get interesting with the game stack, we can certainly go that way. Let's look at next running backs. As I learned today, with things like being on a road or whatnot, does not matter in some matchups as far as the scoring of the team. So that's pretty cool sometimes that you get a nice road team, as no one expect to still score well. The running backs are these. Well, rushing yard. Now this is interesting while we're here. Likely here where it starts negative, Jackson's at around 51 rushing yards. Ingram around 71. Chubb around 79. We were after the touchdowns, right? Touchdowns, very important. Rushing touchdowns, where are they at? Where are you at? I'm not seeing it. So they'll probably have this later, because I don't see why they won't have rushing touchdowns. So we'll figure that out on another day, won't we? All right, so.
Okay, nice. Help me bring this up.